Alright guys, we are streaming. Once again, I guess I should get my camera up. I keep doing this and I don't know why. But here we are in Plasticity, and I'm going to attempt something absolutely crazy. I have some plans. Let me just go ahead and get the camera part up first real quick. Yeah, I've got these couple of blueprints here, and I have some other things that I have also. Let me just make sure this works real quick. Sorry about this. I have some other images and so forth that I can use as well, but I figured why not just give it an attempt, see if it can be done, you know. So all I've done is brought in a couple of what do you call it, images in here, and they're not even positioned correctly yet. They are, this one is centered, and this one is about to be. Actually, it is. From the front view, I'm going to make a line just to kind of figure out, you know, my width and so forth on these. And then I'm going to make these less opaque, so they're not going to, you know, really bother us. So I'm just going to do, well, I don't need to do it that way, but I'm going to make a line for marking here and make another one, a short one, just kind of outside where that circle, you know, needs to be. And then in this view, I'm going to grab those two lines, and I'm just going to move them straight up for now. Make sure these match. And you know what I'm going to have to do is turn those upright. So let's go ahead and rotate. And we're going to throw it this way. I'm just going to go, let's go 90, see if that works. And where are our lines? Yep, we're good to go there. And looking for the front now, it should be the same size, but it's, you never know with drawn things like this, you know, if the person that did it got it right. So yeah, they look about right. I mean, they're not perfect, but you know, approximate size is what I am worried about at this point. So let's go ahead now and make these images less opaque. So I'm just going to click on one and click M, and we can say if we want this in front. I think for the moment we are going to choose to have them in front, and then we'll probably switch that. And I'm going to knock the opacity down to something like 20 or something probably. Yeah, it looks about right. And we say OK. And I may do double-sided in a minute, but I'm not sure. Okay, so once again, let's go ahead and do, let's just do front for now. We'll do this at 20 as well. That way we can look through it from the front. Hang on a minute, what did I do? No node selected. I wonder why, because you have to select it. So there we go, and then we'll just knock this down to about 20, like the other one. Okay, and I think I'm going to, I don't know where I'm going to position this one just yet. So for now, I'm just going to kind of slide it down-ish, and then we'll figure out how high it needs to be shortly. So cool, I think we should start from the top. It's going to look like, you know, we're looking sort of through it, but also with it on top. So just try not to let that distract you. I'm just going to make the general shapes, and then we're going to go out and figure this out. I already centered my circle, not perfectly apparently. So I'm just going to go about this wide. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and move the circle and not the image, just to get it close. That looks good. That's exactly, essentially, where the circle should be. Once again, I don't know exactly how this is going to go. We're just going to do it. So with that, I am going to come in and make our little buddies here to start with. And just making the main shapes here. So I'm just kind of following along a bit in the stuff that I can tell what's what. I don't know how deep that goes in here, but I do know that it does. So I'm just gonna kind of, for the moment, do this. We have those two shapes. I'm gonna worry about that probably after we get up to the top, but you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it now. Who am I kidding? I know me. So I'm gonna escape from that and just do it from the edge here, knowing that that is approximately correct enough. And see, when you come down here, if you want that to match perfectly here, what we will do is come down. I will click, not click, but I'll hover above this point and then just click my shift real quick, tap it, and now I've got a line that'll let me follow out. Isn't that cool? And then boom. So I'm now going to take this curve here, and we're going to Alt X mirror that over. Let me find my mirror point here. And that looks close. Ours will be more perfect than theirs. That's what counts. And then I'm just going to make the shape here, but not the connector bit yet. So let's just get this. And I know that this is going to wind up being a cylinder. So maybe I should wait on that, I think. Let's just wait on that. Okay, cool. So right click, done. What we need to do now is start figuring out this mess here. So let's go ahead in this front view now. Grab our curves. Who's excited about this? I know I am. If you are, say hey. Hopefully you can hear me and everything too. I think everything's good, both screens. I'm going to grab all these curves now. I'm just going to pull them up to about here. And I think that's going to work. We just need to figure out now how high other stuff is, if that makes sense. I don't even 100% know what I'm looking at yet. Maybe we should just make this center section, you know, just to get that going. So I think what I'm going to do is take that ring that we've got here, and I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to scale that in just a bit to where it's, you can look here in the front, it's going to be just a bit inside there. So maybe scale that out a little bit more to get it back to the walls. And you know what? We're going to have to grab this and move it up. It's okay. This will still work very well by scaling this until we can see that it just goes to about there. And cool. And what I'm going to do now is make our actual first kind of like solid piece. Because basically this is just going to extrude down a cylinder. So with that, let's go ahead and select the face. And we're going to come down and snap onto this area. And there's our meat of our hamburger, as they say. After all, Millennium Falcon does have the meat and hamburger situation going on there. I'm trying to figure out where all this happens and where that really goes, but I'm also, I think, just blindly, I'm going to thicken this top bit. So let me select this and this. I just want to make sure I get all the pieces that we're gonna need of the outer circle. Make sure I don't miss any of them. I think we're good. And I'm going to just extrude that a little bit down just to give it that thickness like so. And I'm going to get rid of this one and this one to clean stuff up. I'm also going to turn off our X-ray for the moment. Now it's going to look like X-ray because we have those blueprints kind of showing through. But we kind of need them there at the moment. So then I think, just looking kind of what I can see here, it's hard to tell, but I think these are just going to be essentially as thick as that for now. I'm just going to make some chunks out of them and snap them to this area. We'll get the shell parts and stuff on there shortly. I don't know exactly how far that fits out, plus there's the slants and stuff that we've got to now figure out too. It looks like that main circle needs to be there for that slanted wall essentially to go up to. So we're just going to do the main shapes. So what I'm going to do first is just go from the top again, if it will cooperate. There we go. And we'll see what happens. I'm just going to make this circle here. Let's just kind of... It is definitely not circular from here. So I think what I might do is just create a line that comes straight through here, and then another one, as far as I can tell, that will be, that is not the center there. I know that's not the center of that circle. We're going to take that edge though, and I'm going to try and find it and just move this over until we can snap. And I think, personally, see, it's either wanting to snap there or there. Neither one is the center. The center is going to be right there, I think. So then we're going to create a circle using that as our construction line. That works. I don't know if I need to go to the outside or inside, so I'm going to go to the outside of that and call that good there. We're going to look from the front now. I'm going to grab that and pull that up to here. And then we're going to, I think, duplicate it, make it a tiny bit smaller. So let's just do that. Looking from the front again to get our height right. And there, and then I'm going to scale it in slightly. There we go. And then we have those two. I'm going to loft between the two of them, I believe. So I'm going to take this curve and press L. We'll get a loft shape between those two. And I'm thinking, because well, we can cut this out later, you know, these little sections, but we need that big shape that goes pretty much all the way around to start with. I'm going to duplicate our little saucer on the bottom here, making sure it's the whole thing. Yeah. And we're going to Shift D. We're going to mirror that, I think. No, let's just move it up. And I'm also going to, what do you call it, V-select that to say where I'm pulling it from. So let's use that side, and we're going to snap it to that line there. So there we go. And then I'm going to go from this edge right there, right here, and we're going to, I believe, from what I can tell, just loft to that edge. Let's hide all these guys for the moment, and let's just loft from the actual edges. This is in pieces, it looks like. It doesn't make me happy to do that, so let's just put it back together. Click J to join, and then we can loft from that to this and press L, hoping this is going to look right. Now we've got we need a G0 for that, so there we go. Starting to look right. And I'm going to kill this bottom one since it is not going to be, well, you know what, it's going to be different, I'm seeing now, so let's just wait. And there are the humble beginnings. Okay, starting to see somewhat. So much left to do though. I do have some better side views, I think, which we're definitely going to need. And for the fun of it, let's just throw out some main pieces as landmarks now. So I need to figure out what all of this is from the underside. I can't really tell 100% from this view. I can see that that is that stuff, which is cool. This is going to be one of those sort of hexagonal pieces. I believe they are hexagonal, not round. This is the only round part as far as I know. So let's go ahead for fun and get this guy kind of worked out. I'm going to make a central line that comes down kind of like right through as much as I can. The center there. Thank you. And I'm going to move that over just to get it a little better. Kind of like that. I'm going to do another one that cuts the other center. We're really close with that, but I think this one is slightly more here. Let's see. Am I going to be able to do that without... yeah, there we go. Close enough. Nope, that is not symmetrical. So let's do it this way. I'm going to find essentially where I want this center to be. It's about there, I guess. I'm just going to pull that off there. Cool. So now we have essentially a center right there. And looking from the front again, let's get that little cockpit area worked on. This gives us a cross beam right here to set the main round part of that cockpit area from. You can see, and then from the top, we can tell essentially, you know, where it stops and starts. I'm going to get rid of these curves because these other ones are now pretty darn confusing. And let's select the center of this, and we will change this length in a minute. So right now I'm just going to pull this out just to make it appear here. We will fix the angle and so forth of that here shortly. I'm just going to move this over just a little bit, and looks pretty good there. And then we need to figure out, I think that is the height. Yeah, based on this it is. Let's get rid of this other circle back here. No reason to have double lines. I think that's looking pretty good so far. Let me know what you guys think. And then let's just kind of start planning out what has to happen. I'm going to look from here. So this is its own bit. These are like kind of hexagonal shaped. I'll have to look into those. These cut in as well. So we'll have to look at another image for that. And I'm trying to figure out if that dish really is that big. From here, that looks bigger to me. So this is how I would go about that. Is just kind of take a line from here to here. There is our essentially our measurement line. I'm going to grab it and move it over to this dish and see, because it looks like it's absolutely the right size. Cool. Okay, well, no more guessing with that. Now we can take from the front view. Oh, and I want to cap this bit off too, I'm pretty sure. But let's, from this view, I'm just going to grab a circle, try to center it as best as I can here. Pretty good. And we'll just pull that one like so. This will represent essentially this radar dish until we get that set. And, I'm not going to tilt it yet until it's made. So there we go on that dude. I don't think I have a side view of it, so I don't really know the curvature of that just yet. So we'll find another image or just approximate this one based on that top view, because that's really the one that's going to really tell us a lot here, because we're going to have the base of it will be approximately centered here. And knowing that, you know, we can kind of start figuring out, you know, where that hits top and bottom. So the other way I can do this too is from that top again, I'm sorry, from the front again, is make the center of this guy. So I'm going to have to find the center of at least one of these edges. That's close enough. I'm going to make a curve across it like this, and then I can make another circle right in the center like that. And I'm going to go on the inside because we're going to have to make these rings and stuff too. But that now, this particular circle will get pushed back. So I'm going to look from the top again. And we're just going to push this one back until we're about, you know, at that back side of that curve. And it's going to really help us figure out what that curve should be. And what's going to make that happen is a really kind of cool trick. I'm going to look at from the side now and just grab like this spline. And we're going to go from the top end of this, if it'll let me stick it to it. Something like that. And we're going to make another one kind of like there. So I can kind of guesstimate that curve now, as you've seen that I've done here. And with that, I can revolve that curve around this point if I just pull this in the correct direction like so. And there is the beginning of that radar dish. Not bad, not bad. Based on something that's really screwed up, you know. Hey, thank you, James. How you been, man? No, long time no talk. Yeah, I'm just kind of goofing on this for practice. I don't think I can sell it, unfortunately. You know, being a Star Wars doohickey. But hey, stop it, cat. But yeah, it's fun to make. Plus, I have a guy I've been working with. I mean, you remember Robbins? What's his? David Robbins. Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this Star Wars with him, Star Wars thing with him for years now, and it just keeps getting put off due to, you know, my romantic failures and stuff, like having a stroke, you know. But I'm all good now. That's what counts. Okay, so let's take this inside piece here, and I'm just going to offset basically to thicken. Oops, no, I'm sorry, extrude. We're going to extrude that to thicken. Oh, you know what? Actually want to thicken a sheet when it's a sheet, and I totally forgot. I need to get my sheet together. So let's go ahead and go to thicken a sheet here, and we're going to thicken it inward a bit, just something kind of like that for now. So now I do have a solid And I should, let me see if that is a solid. It is. We're gonna, let me rename this one, call it radar. You know, start working on some approximations and whatnot, some understanding what it is I have done. That, I think these lofted pieces, not that one, but this one, not that one, maybe this one can be deleted because I should have the radar dish part still good to go, which I do. So we'll just stick with that for the moment. Oh yeah, lots better. I mean, I'm tired all the time, but I think that's just from not sleeping. I dropped a bunch of weight, put a bunch of weight back on, so I'm going to have to drop a bunch of weight again, which I'm taking seriously again now. So yeah. Now we're just here hanging and, yeah, trying to get by, you know? Okay, so this lofted piece, I'm going to connect to this one and to this one, I think. I think I can do that. Nope, maybe not. So what I need to do is probably thicken that before I do anything. I think. So let's just kind of give it a tiny bit of thickness there. Now it becomes a solid. We'll get rid of the other, and I can take that solid now, and this one, and we're going to join those all together into one piece. It's still two pieces, it looks like, probably because that one was not far enough down. So now, look at it from the front. I think I have a gap or something here. If not, I'll just drop it like a tiny bit. And then now these two should go together. And they're not. That's weird. Let's see. Why would that be? Oops. Let me get back to my view. This. Let me lock these pictures also. I don't want them moving around. That is the top of the bun, and that is that piece. Why are these not queuing together? Yeah, they're definitely not. They're two separate pieces. I'm going to move this one down a little bit again. I'll just raise it up later once I get it embedded in here. And it may be that this is kind of like a hole. That it's just, yeah, see, look at that. It's just a hole it's sitting in, so that can't be. So what I will do is now go on the inside here, for starters, and I'm going to extend this out, and it will bond now. So now if I grab this piece here and this one here, Q, right click, it's now one piece. Cool. So I'm going to call this top bun just to be, you know, correct, because that is specifically what it is actually called. So what are you up to lately, man? Things going better for you up there? I'm going to have to bring in some other pictures here. Luckily, I have them. So we'll just import some of these others. I've got all kinds of ships here. I just want to look at something that's not totally straight on one way or the other. Let's try the side one here. First off, let me figure out where it has put that. It's going to be really tiny down there, I'm sure. So we'll just make it big as well. And then I'm going to try and get this guy sized. Well, that's good, man. That's good to hear. I've decided I'm moving back up there. Just need to figure out how and when, because there ain't nothing going on down here, man. Nothing. And we're sick of it. So I'm just not that kind of person, you know. All right, so I need to rotate this guy 90 this way. And you know me, I need to be around something and people doing stuff or people wanting to do stuff. Nobody wants to do anything here. Nobody. Either it's a big clique, it seems like. That's what I've, you know, seen. Or the people that I kind of do know are just wrapped up in their own thing or whatever. And nobody really wants to do the stuff that we did, you know. So it's time to come back up there and just kind of do it again. Do it better. Do it as a nicer person also who thinks that I'm not the most important person in the room. Let's try that this time. That's what I say. Not that I did all the time, but you know what I mean. Let's see. So those are going to go about there. I almost got that sized perfect. So let's just make this one now, this material of this back piece, and we're going to push this one farther away. We're going to make this guy also, let's just do front for now and about 20% as well. Come on. Material front, and knock this down. And I don't care if we do in witching hour or if we're going to do big movie, lots of animation, you know. I'm doing it all still now. I just, you know, just want to do it with other people, you know. Me and you did a lot of great stuff together, and I've just, me personally, I know I've advanced a lot in a lot of the areas that I was doing stuff in, and not just in areas that I've been working in, but I think just as a kind of a human being. Not perfect yet by any means. I mean, I still got a bit of a couple of issues with the world and whatnot, but I think overall, you know, I'm a bit better. Okay, let's see. That's going to be approximately there. Yeah, this is going to come up because it's got all that junk in the back. Got all those edgings. This is the cockpit from the other side. That in this image is pushed back a little. So I might push it back for that sake. We'll see. And this is those little two doohickeys that come out top and bottom. Okay, and I kind of remember what this stuff is from the toy, if you can remember. Yeah, right. You're a fan of Spaceballs, so of course I expect you to say that. The ultimate RV, no joke. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there just for the moment. But as cool as I can see this shape finally, and that's going to help me get figure out how that needs to happen. It looks like this is relatively, you know, the right shape, but not completely. You know, this is perfectly centered. This might be something else from the back. I think I'm going to make this little raised up top bit just a little bit shorter for the sake of right now. Right here it looks like Danger Will Robinson. It looks like Lost in Space to me. So I'm just going to pull that down just a little bit. Let's make sure we're not going too far here. Yeah, it's about right. Something like that, I guess. Looks like there's a shifted back slightly, but I don't think that's a problem either. I'm going to try and see where my, my middle hamburger meat disc is here. Yeah, we need to do movies and shorts and series and stuff again. I absolutely think that should be the case. Okay, so the bottom also I need to figure out what this angle is. I think I can do that from the front side, but I want to get these little pieces here that kind of bite the thing. Let's go from the top here and draw that out. I think I have the, did I have the curve or did I already delete it? I think I deleted that. Oh, there it is. Right there. So I'm just going to make this a solid straight piece to begin with, and then I'll wind up chopping that down or angling or whatever has to happen. That's what I say. Where is that curve? I'm not seeing it from, it's probably under. Where is that curve? I don't see it. Okay, let's look from the top again and grab it. It's got to be, it is here somewhere. Is it not? It's right there. That's a polyline. That's why it's not an actual plane, because for whatever reason that is either non-planar or it just hasn't been made as a solid curve yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and join if it hasn't. So that's not letting me. These must not have perfect snaps. So what I will do, let's see. Let's turn off our images real quick. And I will figure this out. So that polyline, also, it's probably turned off. It is, so let's turn it on. There it is. Okay, we just had it turned off. It's not too bad to start with. I mean, it's a simple block out. I'm going to go from the side here now and try to figure out about where this is going to sit. So something like that-ish will be at least where this comes down. I think that does sort of bite down lower than this top edge from what I remembered. So I'm going to kind of go with that. I'm going to look at a picture in a while. But with that, I'm now just going to pull this up like a block because we're just blocking it in. And we'll deal with the actual shape here shortly. I don't know how far that goes back. I think it goes all the way back, but I will have to cut an angle into it at some point to, figure out the angle of it. We can at least start on the base angle here. And it's so super, I mean, this program is just like, gold. And I'm just going to come back to, well, I guess there. And we're going to have this. And I'm just going to chop it now straight with that line straight across. As long as it's coming out the other side, which is here. That should work. So boom and cut and snap and crackle and pop and goodbye. There we go. Looking okay now. Starting anyway. Like I said, I don't know exactly what this does until we look at a different angle. But it is coming along. It's coming along. Now this other angle we can knock off just to make it look prettier. I'm probably gonna be able to do that with a little chamfer. No, that's not a character on the Friends series. So we're just gonna go like this and look back here again and sort of push this in until we get like that. So coming along again, I think that's working. So for the moment, I'm going to mirror that toward the bottom so that we have two of them and more idea of what these shapes really need to be. So we'll just Alt-X that guy. And instead of flipping it down here, I think I'm going to try and do this freestyle here, they call it. And we're just going to go from this point and right there. Perfect. So now we got the top and bottom versions. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this polyline because it's just distracting. And I think we're doing okay. I mean, this is all looking like the ship should. I think we've got our ship together now. This may or may not be too big given the way that looks, but for the moment, I'm just going to grab it and tilt it back and start trying to figure out attachment points on that. But I think This is looking like it's a lot higher up, and I got to figure out where that comes off of the top as well, because depending upon, let me just turn these back on, where it's placed, you know, I think that sits on top of something maybe here. I'll have to figure that out. So let's just wait on it. I'm going to also get rid of any circles other than that and that. We need those two. We can get rid of that one. That's fine. And I don't think it feels like we have one here, but I think what it is, I'm just looking at that blue background. I would like to figure out what this looks like there. We also need to create that big wedge. So let's do that. That ought to be fun. Yeah. I'm just going to make it like a panel on the toy. I don't know if you had the toy, but it was just like a panel you could pop off and, you know, play with the figures on the inside of it. But just thinking that way, I'm going to just make a big sort of pie wedge shape here. And wedge, that was not another Star Wars pun, believe it or not. Some of you are like, what? And I'm going to stop that one there. You know what I should have done is made a circle and then cut the circle. So let's try that. I'm going to get rid of that. Let's take this edge here. I'm going to duplicate that edge, and I'm going to, I think that I duplicated the edge, or did I duplicate the bun? I don't want to do that. I want to go on curve here, the curve, and then select this curve and duplicate that curve. Perfect. And now from the top, I'm going to scale that curve up slightly to match this edge, like that-ish. I can probably bring it back just a little bit. Let's leave it. And with that now, I can draw some lines that are coming. I'll just go from here like this. Looks right. Do another one over here. These are going to be like our razor blades, you know, the cutters that cut through all this stuff. And depending, let's just see what's separate and what's not. Okay, that's all still different. I'm going to hide the top hamburger bun, the top of it here. And I think even, I'm just going to hide a lot of this stuff here real quick. I'm trying not to get distracted. Let's go ahead and hide that, and this, and even this, and even this. Okay, so looking at the top now, or looking at it from this angle, we can see that those are not snapped to it, and they need to be. So I'm just going to grab each one of these. I'm going to grab, pull down, and snap to this edge. So now we have this going on. And this does not need to be a curve here, but it can be. Let's go ahead and do it just because we can do it. See if I can do like a 3-point curve and make it work. At least good enough, yeah. We can even move that those center points to kind of give us a little better shape. What we're looking for. Fine. And then I'm going to come through and cut some of this stuff off. Like you can snip these ends, which is really nice and convenient. I'm going to cut from here to here and then to here. And this is going to have to continue. So what I'm going to do is get rid of, if it'll let me snip this. Yep, perfect. And this, that's what I want. So if I came back there, James, what would you want to do? What would you want to work on first? I mean, you know me, I got tons. So you tell me. Doesn't have to be mine necessarily, but you know, that's what I really want to work on. But you know, Just let me know. I'm willing to do a lot to be able to do a lot. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so that does say it is locked together. I don't know why it's having an issue. Let me just snap that. It's not letting me trim this little piece like it did on the other one. There we go. Good to go now, and boom. Okay, so the whole point of this now, believe it or not, was to get rid of the rest of this. So I'm just going to take this piece for now and say, nope. I'm going to say, gone. Nope. We can snip this curve, and then it's gone. That's the point. All right, so let's go back, turn our stuff back on, and try to figure out where we're at here. It would be fun to make a Star Wars fan film. Like I said, I've got a guy that wrote multiple episodes for this series of stuff he wanted to do. It's just hard for me because I have to do the other stuff that I have to do, and then, you know, doing something that is kind of like secondary, non-paid, you know, takes a little bit of, you know, you have to kind of weigh the options, I guess. As I know you know, because you were kind of having to do the same thing, and have done that, you know, quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and kill these curves too, because they're distracting. And that should be pretty much it. Other than that bit, not sure where all these other lines are coming from, but I could probably get rid of quite a few of these now, because this is just stuff from being in the air and causing me, you know, give me a center line. And I'm not sure where a lot of these were just center points and stuff, so I can probably get rid of many of them. Not, I'm going to keep those. Let's just make this piece first. And this is pretty cool because I should be able to get the perfect shape on this by just pulling this up like a block, if you can believe that, and then revolving with a slanted, curved, you know, revolved line that cuts all the way through it. Let's just try it. I'm going to go from the side. And this will have to be higher up, obviously, because this is going to have, well, it's not going to have to be as high as this, but it's going to have to be high, you know, to a degree, because it needs to accommodate a lot of this other junk here. So I'm just trying to see what I've got and where I'm at. Okay. So I'm looking at that stuff. I'm just going to draw a line, for starters, that kind of comes from here for the moment to about here, and just kind of get an eyeball on that. I think that feels, let me see from the side here again. That might be a bit too low. I want to kind of have the same depth as that. So just pull that up a little bit. Something like that's fine. Doesn't have to be precise. A Western, okay. Do you want it to be strict Western, or do you want it to have the flair of the stuff that we were doing in it? Like, I don't know, Western meets sci-fi, Western meets horror, Western meets spiritual, Western meets Cthulhu mythos, you know? You know me, I like that unexpected weirdness and all of that. Okay, so with this, I need to revolve this curve around this, yeah, I think that's how I'm going to have to do it, is to make a sheet, and the sheet maybe can be our cutter. Is that right? I don't know. I can't just cut straight, so yeah, that'll have to be exactly what I'm saying. So this will have to revolve, let's find the revolve, around this guy, 360 degrees. like this. Perfect. So we're going to have this big disc. The only thing that's going to cut though is that. So we'll say OK. And also I'm going to take the face of that and pull it straight up to where it's taller than that other piece. Whoop, not like that. We need to actually thicken that. Let's see if we can actually extrude that. That's what I wanted to do. So we'll just extrude up. Yes, we can. Right click, make sure all is well. That's gonna make that a bit weird though, isn't it? It shouldn't, because it's actually cutting off above. So with that now, I can take my little piece that's left. I think, let me figure out where I'm at. Here we go. From the side, from the side. This is going to be cut away. Let me undo that. That should work as long as I come straight up. I think that I was not coming straight up. So we're going to extrude, but we're not going to do it at that angle. We have to do it at this angle. And now it will extrude perfectly straight up. Right click. And hopefully I can somehow get up under here. Probably select not the face, but the actual object. This piece right there. And we're going to Q, subtract this from it, right click and accept. Alright, so that isn't so bad. It's also not correct. Cool. So that angle started too high, but it ended right. So I think I can do this one more time, or I can come in here and just drop that top end of that curve here. So I'm going to grab the curve. It's so super easy to do though. So I'm going to grab that curve and this end. We're just going to drop it down a bit more like this. You can probably actually go right to that bit. Go like this. And now we revolve that again to act as a cutter once more. I think this outside edge looks all right. So we'll revolve that one around this as well. Figure out where we want that to be. Right click it. Grab the surface of it. Extrude and then go V along this axis here. Right click. Whoops. Extrude. V along here. And we want to extrude it. Oh, that was right. And we could go W if we wanted to do this right now. We can just zoom back, find the piece we want to keep. Yeah. We can go W, that guy, right click, and that should be right. Can I get rid of this now? That should be good to go, I think. You just make sure. I think that is correct. So let's get rid of the curves, the lines that we do not want. That one can go. Let's figure out which one it is here. So there's a bunch of lines. So I'm going to keep that. We're going to keep our, let me just put these in their own folder probably, huh? So keep that one, keep that one, keep that one, keep that one. I think the rest of these we can get rid of. So I'm going to make a folder for those so we don't get weird. I'm going to call these guides. And then these can probably all be done away with, I think. Just double checking. Double checking. I think that's all good. That can be deleted. So now we're just left with these wonderful shapes. I'm going to turn off the see-through. It makes it a little easier to see this. Yeah. Western meets Supernatural. I'm in. I think that sounds great. We were talking about that anyway. Did you want to try and do that thing? I mean, we don't need a drone now, believe it or not. We don't need horses, because I can do all that. You know, remember the demons running after the girl riding the horse? And it doesn't have to be a girl, like, you know, whatever. I still have that script, I think, somewhere, but we can rehash all of that or whatever. The one with the demons coming out and all that stuff. Remember that we also had the Twister one, I remember, so I'm up for whatever. So I'm going to make some more guidelines here. Then I'm going to go from here to here. I've got a beep going on my computer from something starting and stopping or unplugging itself or something. I have no idea what it is. If I suddenly go dark, you'll know why. So, and I don't mean my lifestyle. That happened long ago. Okay, so these curves here. And this I'm using as just as a guideline. I'm gonna make these Alt X, and I'm gonna flip these across so we have them left and right now, and these will be the outlined areas for these other sections. I'm gonna before I cut this, I'm gonna have to go to the other view here and kind of look and see if that lines up. And it looks like my pieces, for one, are on 2 different levels. So let's try and get these to snap on the same. So I'll grab and snap to that, I guess, essentially. And make sure the others are on that same level. I think these are a little higher, but it don't matter, but it does. I say it doesn't matter, but I know it does. So I'm just going to snap it to this level here. Make sure this one is also precision snapped. We don't want to just eyeball those things if they're going to be part of something that needs to be precision. I think those are okay there. Okay, now let's take a look from the side. At least I know the inside of this and this is what mine is saying. This one says no. Yeah, this one says that the disc and stuff, I think the disc is farther back. But that's okay. And this starts narrower and comes out this wide. Alright, so the wide, yeah, it's going to be narrower at the top. And so where we're going to cut is the wider part of this. Let's just kind of take a look again at what we can take a look at. Because it really adds up when you add it all up. Something or another. Vampires, yes, I do. I still have my script of that. It wasn't a full script, but it was just something I remember coming up with back in the day. I thought it was going to be really cool, but I could not figure out how to do the water. I could not figure out how to have that many people in it, but guess what? I can now if we wanted to. If we wanted to do that. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much open. I have learned the ways to do things the right way so much more than I already had, and not ego tripping that at all. It's just, yeah, honestly, you learn so much more when you get the ego out the way. I just learned because I wanted to and learned because I needed to, and then I got tired because I learned too much, I guess. All right, so that looks like we're just chopping straight through, and then these things will slot in there. Okay. I'm not going to cut the burger. I'm going to cut the buns. Does that make sense? And there's no reason I don't think to have this line there. That's just going to mess with us here. So let's get rid of that. And I'm going to just take it, risk it all now, and cut the top. I'm not going to do the bottom because we still need to do that shift around, which maybe I need to do that first, honestly, because I have no idea pretty much the thickness or any of this, you know, where's all this going. Let's look from the front because I do have that view. It's an okay version. It's enough to get us there. So I'm just going to go and make a couple lines. Pretty much, I guess, you know, from here to here. And then I'm just going to come straight across from here to just the inside of that same way. I guess that works. And that pretty much is going to be our revolve, I think, right there, as long as I get it centered. So I'm going to grab it, snap it like we want it. Wait, where is the line now? Helps if you put it in the right place. And I don't know what had happened to it there. So we're just going to pull it up here and snap it to the middle. Right click. There we are. And now we're going to revolve this on the bottom around that center. And that should give us a nice bottom side to that. Yep. Agabulga. adds up when you add it all up. That's right. Agabulga. I forgot about that. That is funny stuff. The Jamesisms, your words are never been uttered by other people, and especially people with udders. Let's go ahead and revolve this now. And we're going to revolve it around, well, that right here. So boom, and I'm going to find the actual axis that needs to be revolved in somehow. Let's see, where are you? Where are you? I thought I had it. Nope. Is it? Nope. Come on. It's something like... what in the world am I doing wrong? He wondered to himself. I think I've got this on the wrong axis there. I'm using that blue line instead of my up and down, my own axis here. Let me get myself out of this drawing. All right, so this is not true center. I need to make a true center line of my own then. It is from the front, but it is not from the side. So I'm going to go ahead and give me a construction line like this. And from the side, you will see it is not true true center from this side. Nope. So we have to move that one back to our own center, which I think is here. And now we can check that. And that looks much better. Okay, cool. So now, maybe, we can take this little guy and revolve that now around that center post. And we should have the bottom. As soon as I find the revolve angle someday. Why does it keep throwing it at a side awkward angle like that? I don't know. It should be right there though. It should be right here. And it is not. I think it's putting that in a completely other angle. Okay, well I'm going to grab this and move it down then so I can see what I'm doing. This should just make a spin, you know, right around that post. let me make sure that those might not be 100% matched up either. So let's grab, I think that one. We'll move it and snap it to this blue one, 1000%. Now, maybe it'll work better. Yeah, good times. We did. I miss hanging. I miss doing all that. Revolve around this guy now, and this should just happen when I pull this up or down. It is not. I don't know why. Huh. That is odd. There's no reason why it shouldn't be doing that. Oh, probably because I have it on both sides. Let's see if we can trim half of it off and only spin this 360. That's what it is. That's what it is. So I'll just spin it and then I'll lift it back up. And we probably should make these curves. Okay, that is one. Good. Okay, so now we can revolve. Duh. R. Nope, that is rotate. We're going to revolve this around this, and now we have success. There we go. That's what we're looking for. And let's just go from the side here, grab it, and pull that straight right up into the bottom of the ship. I think that looks right. I could be wrong. Something still seems a bit not in far enough. I'm going to look again from that front view and compare the two and just take the best of both worlds, because it looks good here, but I think, I mean, there's something missing, and I don't know exactly what it is because I can't see the rest of this. So it probably needs to come lower in general, and then have all those other pieces. I'll look at another angle of the ship in a 3/4 kind of view. I'm just going to pull this down a little more for now. We can change that, luckily, at any time. That way, when we look from the side here, does this look a little better now? Yeah, because we're going to get more this. So these will fill in a lot of that other stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this down to about there. That just seems correct to me now. That one piece will get cut off. This guy here, I don't know exactly where it needs to be cut off ultimately, or for real, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. There we go. And that way it won't be sticking out of the bottom. It's kind of like when you're pinching a loaf and you just don't want it sticking out of your bottom. Okay, so we're going to go cut. We're going to cut it with that. Boom. Take this piece and the curve and be done with those guys. So I think it's coming along now. We are much farther along on the actual shape. That looks really good, I think. So let's go ahead and then cut those other dudes out that need to be, and then place the actual little hexagonal bits back in there. This is the scary part because I actually have to chop away the buns, as they say. So I'm going to grab both of these actual full object here, and okay, these need to be, I think, put together, right? So let's go ahead and make those one. Good to go. And we'll take that one and this one, and now we're going to cut them all the way through with this one and this one. Helps if I'm looking from the correct angle. So we're going to cut those two with this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. We might not be able to. It looks like something's not letting me cut, so I might have to do these one at a time. And also this might just not be long enough going through. So let me hide you know what I need to do? I do. Let's grab our curves. We need to extend them in here. So let's grab this guy and look from the top. This really should come to a kind of a middle point and meet this other one. Turn on our X-ray so we can actually see what we're doing. Let's snap these guys to the center point. We'll grab that one as well. Snap it to that one. It should turn green now when we let it go. Snap that to the... This really needs to be snapped to the center point. There we go. And then now I can move that, move that down. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, a bit tedious, but totally worth it. And then we can grab this guy. I don't see the green forming there, but that's all right. We'll figure that out. The green in the middle one looks great, but I don't know why it's not here. We'll grab this one now and snap it to that one. And hopefully now those will cut through correctly. Yeah. And with that, for the top view again, I'm going to start with just the upper bun and cut. Oh, we need to join those as well. Dang it. Let's do that real quick. This and this need to be joined. Boop. And then this and this should be joined. Ta-da! They are. So now, I think we're ready. After all that, we're going to grab this one and we're going to cut with this, and we do have it now. Okay, cool. And now I can take these chunks, this chunk in the middle, I hope, and delete that, and it will become, it'll create the hollow essentially for those other parts. And I'm getting lost here. And then now I'm going to, let's just shift back over here. You can see that essentially is going to fit right in there. And then now we're going to, and these drawings are not 100% correct to each other, so that's part of the reason why they don't line up. But they do line up here. So now I'm going to take the other bun, the other white meat, and we're going to, and I'm not cutting through the center section, you notice. So, and I'm going to take that other one, and we are going to cut it with the same cutters, like that. And that way I can take out that bottom chunk. And that works there. And now I can just make a block, I think, that will, using these curves we already have, which is beautiful. I'm going to go from the top. I'm going to get rid of, I think, this center line for now. We can always put one of those back. And this one too, as far as I'm concerned. This one as well. I don't even know what that was for. And so with these guys, I should be able, and I'm just going to make a block, a square version. And it's going to be completely wrong at that end. It's totally fine. And we can line that up if we really want to, though. So we have that. We're going to make a block. And you know what? Let's line it up. I am a perfectionist. So I'm going to do this just to make sure. This won't probably even matter later, but I like to get it right. So we're going to snap this to that right there. And then we can get rid of that line if we want. And then we can make another one here and snap the other one to it to make sure it's right. I mean, drafting, you know, you really do honestly want to try for accuracy if you can. Otherwise, in the end, man, a little slop here and there will be sloppy everywhere. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. It's going to look really, really cool here in just a second. I'm going to grab this whole group of curves here now, pull those up. I mean, it's amazing how fast I can throw something together like this now. Not just me, but because the tools and software I have too in comparison to, you know, what we've used before. And I need to grab these lines here and put them back together. I don't think they are uniform again. So let's join those guys. There we go. And now I can take this, and we're just going to extrude this down past the bottom. Down past the bottom. Something like, you know, wherever we think that that bottom edge is going to be ish. That works for me. I'm going to wind up cutting this off somewhere here. I'm just going to use the one I've got here as a guide, so something like this. And I'm going to stretch that point out here to where it stays in that plane. That's going to be the where it meets the top of the center ring of the top bun, basically. And then I'm also just right now probably going to cut my outside. I don't know if I want to do that just yet. Because I need to do it from the other, the top view. So that's going to be the top. So we can go ahead and cut that one just to get some of this material out of the way. So I'm going to take this box and go ahead and cut this all the way across. You have 42 viruses. Just going to cut right across here and remove that to start with. So now we have that happening. We're going to go from the top, I think, and just get rid of some of this other material for the sake of doing so. I'm not going to make these shapes just yet. What I'm going to do is cut a line straight across this, if that makes sense. Just to get that part right now. Cut through that one. And I'm going to grab the other side first before that and just do them at the same time. Because why not? Let's just grab this about here. And I just like to get off of all that other stuff so it doesn't click to any of those lines. And then I'll grab this one and pull it down straight. Now we can cut through this main piece right here with this guy and this guy. Done. We can now remove these end blocks. And that's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this curve. It is not needed anymore, I don't think, for anything. Boom. I'm going to get rid of these guys as well, and I'm going to turn off our see-through so we can kind of see what's going on. That's looking pretty good. Now I need to figure out exactly the dip somehow of these side pieces here. It's not really showing much of that, but I know that's kind of BS. They don't go perfectly straight out. They do have, I think, a little slant to them. You know, this part here, I think, I mean, maybe they don't after all, but I think they do. Also, I'm going to take this bottom piece, the bottom plane, and push it up to where it's supposed to be. Let's just look from the front again and get a little more accurate like that. Maybe take that top one and just push it down slightly to kind of appease. Well, you see that what's going to throw us off here, so I don't think we will. I did not mean to cut this upper disc, but here's the funny thing about these parasolids. If you just grab here and pull over, it tries to complete, you know, itself back out. But I think I'm going to have to cut that disc here away from the rest, so I'm going to worry about that shortly and not get myself into too much trouble. Another way to do this, actually, now that I think about it, real simple, is to just complete this circle here on top. Check it. You're going to be like, dang, that was a great idea, Sean. And I'm going to go right here to the middle, pull this back out and snap it. If we can, why don't you just snap there, buddy? Just put it right to there. We have this ring. I'm going to grab that and pull it down. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, pretty much. And this will be cool as well, because all we have to do to recomplete that circle, I think, is to recreate these lines here. And, you know, not perfectly, it doesn't have to be. And recreate this line here. It's not going to snap, which is a little strange. If it's just inside, it still works though, for what I'm trying to do anyway. So we have those lines, and I'm going to grab those lines, snap them up where this is up here. So we'll just kind of go like that. And now, through the magic of editing, we can pop these ends off. We can snip this guy off here and here. And now I've recreated that entire shape from that middle part. We can grab this whole curve. I'm going to just, join it right back together here by grabbing these two sides and these two sides. You can join it or not, and then grab it, pull it down, and snap it to that edge right there. You can see it's a little wide, but that's only because this slant there is not accounted for. Totally fine. And in actuality, let's just snap that down then instead. So I can just grab that curve again, snap it to the bottom curve inside there, like, you know, that bottom edge there, right? And then all I have to do is pull that up and be done. Except for the little slanted curve, which is totally easy to get rid of. We'll see in a sec. But then we just grab this and go zip straight to here. Let it go. And if we want, we can even bond that. And for some reason, there's a gap. Gotta love the Parasolid stuff. I can come in here, find, you know, this particular face. Not that one. Is that an actual gap, or is that just a double line? I think it's just a double line. We'll check by doing this bit. Watch, I grab all three of these sections here, though, of it. Come on now. What am I grabbing? This bit, the center bit, and this bit. Do I want to do this? I think so. And we can join those together, and now they become one piece. Amazing. That's amazing. Just saying, folks. So yeah, very, very cool. And then I can take this and just cut that right back without any problem. I kind of like the way that looks personally, but it's not 100% right. But let's just leave it for the moment. And then I'm going to have to figure out this, because this does not do this Y shape there. You know, where it gets wider at the end. They actually come inward. I just want to make sure that we have the correct shape of those this way first off. And I think we will. So I'm just going to go from the top. I'm just checking back and forth till I know that I have that correct. And as far as I can tell, this is that line that goes, and we're just going to make this here to here for the moment. And then I'm going to connect this right to here. Just find the end that it should go to. There we go. And we're going to connect another one from that one to here. You can see that magic already starting to kind of work. I don't think those are, nope, they are not. So I got it on the top side is why. So we're just going to grab the line and push it down here. Just grab and snap to that same surface. So now those are correct. That's good. And then we need to cut essentially from here to down to this diagonal, which we will do in about 5 seconds. Let me just shape this in the top one more time, because that is the only thing left is that business. And I'm not exactly sure the way these fit. I just know that those lines should really kind of intersect at these points. So, and then we can figure out what level and whatever they go on to be cut. So it's going to do one there, and it overlaps. It's totally fine because this is going to actually cut that that block. So let's go ahead now, and we have this hamburger bun business going on there. We'll deal with that shortly. And I say now I'm going to grab the block, and we're going to cut using this and this, and accept that. Now we can take these bits off, and I think we should cut that out or something, whichever. I need to check and see really what happens here, but more than likely we're going to take this piece and just pull it out a little bit more to cover that over. I think that works fine. This is going to get an angle cut, obviously, at some point. I gotta go and look at pictures though to see just how angled and weird or whatever that's going to be. And I don't like this be 100% square. You can see that has a little drop down back there, a little bit lower, right? So I think that's what I'm going to wind up doing. Just kind of snipping that at that angle. We should possibly do that first, but I'm not sure. So in the front now, these really need to be cut, you know, this way. And to see how they need to be cut, I'm kind of confusing myself slightly here, but I think it needs to go, yeah. So I'm going to take these points, I'm going to extend them out straight out this way, just with a couple of lines. I'm not going to move those other points. I'm just going to drag a line that comes out farther than that. Now I got to figure out from here to here how that's going to work. So let's make another couple of lines from this side. Hopefully I can see these points. And I got to figure out, is it left or right? It's the inside ones. So from here, I'm going to come down to, I guess, that point there, as far as I can tell. So let's go ahead and draw from the inside point to there, right click it, and from the inside point to there, I think, I hope and pray, and click that and see if I got that right. It could be the outsides. I could have gotten those completely wrong. It does have to go to the outside, so that should be good. You're wondering what I'm doing, but let's find out if I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to grab the box now, this guy, and I am going to, these do need to be added onto, so let's just say this and this, just like this, so they go outside of that little boxy area here that we've got, and see if it works. So I'm just going to cut, yeah, I hope this works. I'm going to cut this box first with these curves here and here, and I don't think that's going to work. These need to be joined. Let's just grab these and join them. I don't think these are joined, but they probably have to be for sure. Join those. Maybe it'll work now. If not, I'll have to extend those as well. I might as well do that while I'm here. You know what I mean? Why not? It doesn't matter if those are perfect as long as they're truly joined and extend the line somehow. So let me just grab them and join it and grab it and join it. So that has a full cut through. Grab the box and then cut and use this and use this, and it works now. So now, only a little difficult there. That should have cut both sides. So we don't have to go back and go left and right anymore. I'm going to get rid of that, and I think that's exactly what we wanted here. Pretty sure. I need to figure out what we're doing at the end, but that does look good, at least on this side. We haven't chopped this top, I guess, on here yet. So let's go and see if we can do that possibly. Or did we? No, we did not. Okay. So now I need to take these curves here, mirror these over. So Alt X, we're going to go flip it that way. And then we can take the block and cut it with this and this. At least cut it. I think that's got a strange funky edge to it or something. We just need to come back. You know what? Instead of doing that, I'm going to move those up because I can already see that they probably should be joined with that point. So I'm going to grab both of these, move them forward first, and then make them snap to this point on either side because it's a little off. And that's totally cool. Just grab it and snap it there. No one will ever notice. Grab it and snap it there. Should work anyway. So now, boom. And then we will cut with this and cut with this, and it works. No, it did not. Okay, so one more time, we'll cut with the first one by itself. So here, grab, cut with this one. Okay, cut this with this. Done on that side. So I'm going to get rid of this. Is that what we want? Let me just double check on the other side. I hate to find out we don't. Yes. Okay, and then this one needs that chunk cut away as well. So looking from the top, I just want to make sure, and I think that's the problem, is we don't have this point extended far enough. So just going to grab it and just pull that out a little more like this. And now it should work with no problem. So we grab the box, we cut, we grab the line, and that works. Now we can get rid of this chunk and have a beautiful side from here the same way. And now we need to repeat it on the bottom. But I think we can do the bottom just as a mirror because it should be a completely symmetrical object, he said, hopefully. I'm just going to grab these two extra construction lines there. I think we already got rid of the other one. I don't think we need the other ones here anymore because that's already been cut in. Those have been cut from that side. So I think all these can go as well. Just grab them. If not, then I'm totally screwing myself right now, but that's okay. I can always redo them. Yeah, those are good to go. And then now we can take this, as far as I know, and just symmetrize it from top to bottom. So let's try that. In fact, can I solo this guy? I know there's a solo. I just can't look for it right now. And I'm going to go ahead and Alt X. We're going to go top to bottom, but you notice this is in the wrong spot. So we're going to go top to bottom, and I'm going to try and find the center, the V spot, maybe the F of that right here. And we should be able to that did not do what I wanted it to do. We need to how am I going to do this? Probably can rotate it the other way, and I might have to cut it in half and then symmetrize it, because it doesn't seem like it wants to just X copy over or whatever. I'm going to try it from the front though, see if it will. So we're just going to take this piece now, and yes, I've got to figure out what the shape is of these guys on the ends. I'm going to take those guys now, or that guy, and I'm going to Alt X, and I don't want it Alt Xing from down there. So what I need to do is tell it to do it from F. F is going to be directly in its center, which I'm not sure. Let's grab this that I can find. I think it's that. And if we do this, it should be symmetrized, and it is not. That is kind of bizarre. So yeah, what I could do, like I said, is just split it in the middle and duplicate it in reverse. That's what we're going to do. Let me just make sure this is the exact same length from here to here, because this whole thing, to be honest with you, throws me off. Let's see. Grab that, make it here. I don't know that it's the exact center. So what we're gonna do is redraw that there line all the way through, and then I'm gonna find the midpoint of this line. It's saying it's there, but I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with it, but it doesn't seem 100%. But hey, maybe it is. And so what I'm going to do is just grab this point here, pull it over, like so, and use that as our cutter from top to bottom. It's going to grab the whole thing, and let's just take this dude, cut it with this guy. I'm going to delete the bottom, which I think I can do. I'm going to take the top now, and we're going to just duplicate that 180 degrees down from there. That should work. Let's see, Alt X. I don't know why I'm having trouble with the other. We're going to grab F from here and see if we can rotate that like so. And that should be correct now. So much better. That's a good start. It's not right. I mean, like I said, the shape isn't right and all that kind of stuff, but we will hone that down. In fact, I think these are too long, and then there's this extra little end bits that are rounder, like you're seeing there at the ends. So I'll just have to look at that in a view that shows more than just what we've got here. So in fact, I think these go quite a bit back in there now that I'm looking at it. Dang it. Let's also merge these together as one, and then I can take this end. You can see it. I need to push it back to that line. So doofus. And let's just push this back to about there. And then it'll get that other piece. This will probably have to be chopped out as well. Yeah, because these are little chunks with nurnies on them, and I don't think there's anything that goes right there. So you live and learn, you know. You learn what we're supposed to be doing the whole time. Turn that off. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. There we go. And then now I can push that in until come on now, like that. Yeah, that's better for sure, for sure. And I probably need to drop down these a little bit. I don't think they're supposed to come straight out. That looks really odd to me that way. I think they were supposed to hang just slight. So I'll have to look back at it, you know, anyway. And then we've got this lovely bit to contend with as well. I remember this mostly has a slant and a flat spot and a slant. I don't believe that's round. This is round though, but this has and if nothing else, it's at least a bit round. I just know that's a flat spot that runs across the top, and this is a cut out sort of wedge at the end of it. We'll see. Yeah, that's a lofted piece for sure though. I know that. Can loft in space now. Boy, that was dumb. All right, so with that, what else? I mean, details, they'll come later. They'll come tomorrow. I think I will chop these little bits out of the end here, because those hamburger bits should not be here. So these will just get like so. Cut here. Cut here. Just going to extend that one too. So this will chop that disc right here. And then we go cut, and we'll use that. And then we can delete this whole bit. Looking good in your neighborhood. Then this one will do the same. Yeah, it's fun. This is like playing with toys, you know. Totally is like playing with toys. That's what I love about it anyway. And, you know, you can make some money doing the stuff, you know. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all either. When it happens, I should say. Yeah, I have a big job, supposedly, coming up. So, hoping that's going to be the case. Could really use that right now. Let's see there. We're going to cut using this one now. Chop and get rid of those. And now those are set to get the little round pieces in the ends or whatever, these little bits that go on there. Filling out all this junk on the sides is going to be fun. Lots of fun. I actually enjoy that kind of thing. Don't know exactly what is going on with this turret and all that yet. You know, that's going to have some special application apparently. And this I'm just going to cut for the sake of having it cut. And I'm going to extend this point out because I know it's not far enough probably yet. Just grab that and kind of pull it that way. Something like that. And I'm going to take this cylinder now and just chop it with that. Get rid of this piece. You can go ahead and get rid of the curve. My cat's yelling at me to go to bed, which is hilarious. And then this is going to be just a cone, a truncated cone. So, number of ways we can do that. I think I want to do it from the front and loft it though. I think that seems to be the simplest way. Let's grab this face. And just going to make another circle right here. You know, like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to make another one the size of however big this center one should be. Obviously it's a little bit off. And then that one's going to come out as far as, I guess that over there tells us. Even though I know this one is pushed back a little bit, I'm going to grab this one and just pull it forward a little farther than that one, like about like so, about the same distance this is here from that. So it's about right, I guess. If it looks bad, then we just won't do it. And then I also know this has that little bit of a jog. So we want the second one as well, pretty much right up against that one. Let's flip this around to the other side. This little cube ticks me off sometimes. Okay, cool. And then, yeah, we need to get this bigger one pretty much right there. I'm going to have to move this whole capsule in a little bit here in a second, but let's just grab this and go here for the moment. We'll deal with all this cutouts shortly. And then from the side, so we got, grab that one and pull it back farther than the other. Just kind of want to see where we're at here. Okay, that is better, but I think it's a little too far back. I'm just going to make that a little tiny bit of a slope. It's a snub nose here, you know what I'm saying? So 2 revolve actions here, or not revolve, I'm sorry, but 2 lofts. I'm just going to go from this guy to this guy to this guy. We press L, and we want this to be G0 from now on. I mean, from now, for now. It's not letting me do it. Get down, please. Get down, cat. Please get down. I have to show her the water bottle, and should get down. This should not have the tension it's got right now, so I'm trying to figure out why it's got that. So let's undo that, and let's just go with one at a time. I'm just going to loft this into this one and say G, or I'm sorry, L, and we're good. And I'm going to say this one to this one and say L, and then we're good there. So that's what we're talking about. And I'm going to close this up because just for now. So I'm just going to press, not revolve. How do I close that? Probably just fill with a patch hole. Yeah. And I think we patched the one on the inside too. That's fine. Get rid of these circles here. And then we're going to bond these 2 together for now. So we can come back and work on all this later on. But yeah, I think that looks great. It's the right proportions, dimensions. You know what I'm saying? I'm really happy with that so far. And I'm trying to figure out, I don't remember if this is a slant. So let's go ahead and bring in a photo and just look at it. So I'm going to go to bed here in not too much longer. But I want to kind of figure out, what's wrong, if that makes sense. I don't think I have an outside picture of it. I'm going to grab, let me just think here. I'm going to grab, I guess that one's the best one I got. It's a 3/4-ish picture. Let me just size it up because it's going to come in super tiny given the way that this scales stuff up. Just accept that and do it again. Here we go. And then I'll rotate this around 90 this way. And probably go 90 this way to just kind of give me a, maybe the other way. Rotate it this way. And get it out of my face, you know what I'm saying, so we can see what we're doing here. So it's not, this isn't the perfect image, but you can see it. That one here in this picture is round. So we'll do round, and we'll chop that end off of it and call that good. So, I guess from the top, maybe. Cat, please. So from the top, probably going to loft these, looking like from here to here. So I'm going to make a line. Oh, Lord. From here to here. And I'm going to probably have to align that. Then we're going to loft from here to here. And I think I'm allowed to connect that. I'm not absolutely sure. So with that, and I'm going to try to loft these two together with roundness or tension. I could do a third, which is probably what I should do, coming from that top one. I mean this part here in the top, middle, and just kind of end it right about there. And just kind of say, yeah, make it go between all those. I'm going to hide this bit for now so we can see what we're doing and pray that this works out right. So here, here, and here, and we select loft, and we just change the tension up here on these, like G1, G2. I don't have a guide, so let's just change the tension. Is that going to make any difference? Let's just select this as a guide. That will not work because it's not a guide. So undo, and I say now we're going to we're going to duplicate this curve right here, and then I'm going to cut that curve right here and right. I love being able to do this. And right here. That should work, he said to himself, hopefully. So we go, I'm going to get rid of trim the bottom piece then. Yep, good. That should work as our guides. I'm hoping. You may need to put that one together too. We'll find out. So we say yes. I'm going to go here, here, and then here. And we're going to loft it, and it's going to say, where are your guides? I'm going to say that, and wham, bam, we've got it. That looks great. Now, that is not so great. I don't know exactly how high that should have come up. So that's the other thing I got to look at from the front. It says it's fine here, though. So I think the other thing is going to be just that wedge that we need to cut from here to there. So I'm going to mark this along the top with just a little line like so, so I know that that is my where I'm cutting from line, if that makes sense. And now I got to figure out how in the world we're going to cut this straight down. I might have to use a plane, like create an object to make a plane, a surface plane to cut that through. I don't know, because I need to cut it diagonally like that pretty much. So I'm going to hide this object here, and we're only going to want to cut through this one. I'm also going to make this little dude a little bit more visible to myself by just moving this point. That will be wrong if I do that. Let's just move this point like that. Still connected there. From here, I mean, this is not the angle we need, but I'm just trying to get a kind of a perspective overall. We would need to be somewhat like, kind of like this to get the perfect cut on that dude, I think. And that all depends on too where it is coming in contact with the thing. So you know what, I need to turn on our hamburger bun here. That's gonna help a lot. And so now I can kind of see, well, let's go from that point to this point. I'm going to have to add probably something in between that. I don't know, though. It might work given being just a cutter. And we're going to grab this one. And we might not even have to worry about the angle to here. It's probably going to have a sharp point here, though, which I can round out without a problem. And then now, hopefully this will work. We might have to do this, though. Might need to make this a solid first. So I'm just going to take this, and we're going to, tap the holes, which for some reason vanished the whole thing. So let's undo that. And I wonder if we can thicken that like a sheet. Where's our... That's this sheet. This sheet. There we go, lofted. We should be able to thicken this enough inward. That way it'll still treat it as a... okay, there's my two cutters. We'll still treat it as an object we can cut. So now we're going to select that object, and we're going to cut it using this. Oops, we need to do it from a more appropriate angle, apparently. So we're going to cut it using this and this. Did it work? It did not. Probably because those lines are not high enough out again. So let's continue the lines. Tedious, man. Tedious. Let's just go from here. If that one is not perfectly in the corner, it's totally fine because that's all hidden away. 1000% hidden. I'm just going to drag it, this one. What in the world? It's grabbing the wrong one, isn't it? Undo. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's find where we're at. Okay, cool. I'm gonna need to hide something, perhaps. Let's hide the image in the back. I locked them, but let's just hide these. We need our see-through turned on. And all I'm trying to do is cut this object using this curve. So we're going to try this object. This object here. I'm going to need to look at it from an angle. And I'm going to grab, well, let's just grab either curve. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to try and get them relatively aligned with each other. And I'm going to grab the points of either one of these guys. That's not what I want. Come on. What are we doing here? I'm going to get rid of these lines because that's what's messing me up. We don't need them. And this one can pull out, and this one can also. And then now we can grab the shape. We can cut it using, either one of these. And it doesn't want to do it. Cool. So what I will wind up doing now is grabbing that point and trying to somewhat get it out of there, but still on the same, angle as possible. That'll work, I think. So now, here we go. And pretty much from the camera, I guess, we can cut using that one, and that is the wrong angle for it. So we're going to look at something a little better here and grab the thing, cut using that again. It doesn't work because it's not long enough. It needs to cut, I think, from an isometric angle, because that probably won't work. You can try it, but I don't think so. Yeah, see, that just does an arbitrary up and down angle, which we absolutely do not want. We want this to cut towards us. That is a little frustrating, guys. Little bit frustrating. There we go. No, there we don't. Okay. I think part of my problem is too. No, that is all one curve. Cut. Yes, he keeps going the wrong direction. So cut here. No. Yeah. So I might have to cut this. What if I used that? As long as it's the right direction, I don't care. And I probably can fix pretty much anything that may be wrong with that, if I do. So I'm just going to eyeball that just to get us a spot to cut from. I'm trying to cut down in that direction, and there's no way to do it in the way that I have this set up. So I'm just attempting 50 different things. So we're going to cut. We're going to try this one now. It cuts it straight across. I can probably at least do a... Let's hide this piece. Did it only cut that far down? It did. How weird. That's okay, because we want to get rid of that part, don't we? And then I can take this one and go, and then we can take this guy and do a, what do you call it? You know, lean it out. So I can take this face, I believe, do a draft. That's what the words I was looking for. We're going to draft that face this way. How difficult does that have to be? Seriously. And that can't even be like that. That's got to be at an angle, but... It's a bit of a nightmare. So let's undo that, and we need to chop that straight, though. Holy moly. Because by leaning that, we're getting the roundness, but, you know, I'm going to live with that for right now. I'm going to live with that right now. Let's go ahead and grab this. I'm going to do the draft. This guy. And I will, I don't think it's even going to work. Yeah, we're going to leave it like that. I will chop that later, but I think it works for now. What a pain just to get that little bit. Let's just get rid of these guys. This is a solid piece, right? No, these are not. Okay, so let's go ahead and remake them solid pieces. Now, we could do the interior, I think, if I ever wanted to, because I'm starting to get this kind of set to be so. And let's just go ahead and join these all back together if they will, and they won't. Cool. There's about a billion ways to get it to do it, and that's because these have funky internals, as you can see. But if I turn this guy back on, we can essentially connect a lot of this back together. And this as well, I just realized, is down to a half, and it needs to be a full scenario. So I'm just going to pull that down as far as it will let me. Oh man, can you believe I did that? Let's undo that. That's okay, because I know how to fix this. I hope. Oh, Sean, what have you done? Yeah, I should be able to fix that. So I'll just go here. We're going to, I think, extrude, because this is not going to work. That's going to go like that. So we're going to need to actually extrude this part along this scenario this way. I need to make sure. Now see, this has a total screw up happening there, but I think we can draft that or something. I don't know now. What have I done? What have I done? I ice cream cone this other bit, and it's totally messed up. Let me see if there's a way to pull the inner part of this down and maybe sort that way, just by offsetting the inside. Nope, you cannot do that. Too bad. So sad. Okay. That's different. I honestly do not know. I'm probably going to have to recreate that face, so that's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and hide these. This is what this stuff's all about. Problem solving, you know? And man, have I made a little one for myself to solve. So if I... And that is not planar. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. This may be something I'm sorting tomorrow. Because I've right now got myself a bit frustrated. What I'm trying to see is if I do extrude this out, I guess it's stopping because of this stuff down here. Oh, well, I got it to yank through, but yeah, see, that's doing a solid straight piece. Didn't expect that either. That's cool. That's cool. Wow. That's not what I expected to have to deal with. I could duplicate this curve here. Yeah, probably. So if I grab this guy, do what I kind of did before by extruding just the curve, and we use our you can extrude a curve, can't you? You can't loft without something. You need, I know you can extrude an edge. Come on now. I'm just going to copy this. So duplicate that curve, which we can do. And then I should be able to extrude that curve along this edge. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, guys. That's what I was looking for. Thank goodness. It just takes a little knowing what you're doing. And what a cheat that was, though. Okay, so let's go ahead now. See if I can make those together. No, you cannot. Okay, cool. Yet again. So what can I put together? Any of this? I guess not. That's different. So that is, oh, that's, it's not a rigid body. So let's go ahead and make that one a rigid body, or a solid body. And this one a solid body. So now we can put those together. Or is this also, oh, that says it's a solid, and so does that. And this one is as well. So I don't know why these cannot be put together. Huh. That's a little weird. Maybe they're just so perfectly right at each other's edges. So what I can do there, hide this one. I can grab the back side of this one and just, no, and extrude that one back slightly. Come on, get out of the way. Just enough to give it a lip to grab onto. We can unhide this piece now and grab it and put those together. Wow, they will not boolean together, and I don't know why. Interesting. Maybe I need to make this just a little bit farther out. That feels like it's kind of stuck in itself, if that makes sense. Like that is like a separate, it's like a separate piece. See how it's doing this moire effect. So if I grab that and delete it, does it do anything strange? No, that was just something weird going on. So now if I take this and go to this, that should work. It still does not. Wow, a little bit confusing. Let's take this and just slightly move it a hair out. Does this, that is a lofted piece, that's why. So that needs its stuff done. Now I can take this one. Let's move that back. Let me take this one and cap it. This one is already capped, so now we should be able to stick these guys together, and we can. Okay, I hate the way they work. This solid and this solid should also be able to be put together, which they can. And then now this piece and this piece, and we still have a problem. Okay, we'll figure this one out together. Okay, that's a lofted piece, that's why. So let's close that up as well, and that can't because it's got holes. So we're going to thicken that sheet right here to the inward. I mean, to the inside. I did not just say that. To the inside. Good enough, I think. And now we should be able to... No. They're just off from each other enough. And I know that if I take this face probably there on the inside, if I can get in there. Let's see. Let's look at it from the inside if I can. Where are we at? Gets a little tricky, and here I am zooming around. Sometimes it scales weird and everything too, and messes me up. So what I want to, where I want to be is right in here. There we go. And I want to take this. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, I just want to pull that up a little bit to get that to hopefully ugly, but hopefully bond together. Let's just try it. This piece, it just does not want to do it. Probably because of that right there. It's weird on this side a lot. So just noticing that. Let's go ahead in here. Come on, just go in. And I need to grab I'm gonna hide this piece real quick too. I'm just gonna pull this one up enough, I think. This is me guesstimating and hoping and praying stuff again. I'm just gonna try and grab this face. It's not gonna let me because of the scaling. Let's just switch this over to that. Can I get inside when it's like that? Come on now. Oh, it's frustrating, guys. Frustrating me. Just trying to get inside this little pipey area here, and I don't think I'm going to be able to. Well, I can if I hide some stuff, but that's annoying. Let's just get this back. Find out where we're at. I'm trying to go through that cockpit and I didn't need to do it at all. Okay, so this is all I was trying to do, and just pull this up. That's not gonna work, so let's take this one. Maybe. Come on. Oh my gosh. You get stuck in this sort of scaling mode, and I just wish to God that was never a thing. I don't know why in the world it automatically scales your movement to where you're at. It tries to slow itself down, you know, when you're close to the thing, but that never works. It's never a good thing in every piece of software I've ever used. It never, ever is a good thing to try and do. Okay, so this is the piece we're trying to use. Let's just go ahead and take this one and drop that one back down a little bit. And take this one, hopefully, and pull it much farther down. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. So right now I'm just getting a little frustrated with myself. We're gonna bond these two, I hope. And no. Okay, so let's try to then get this one. With this one now? Nope. How about this one with this one? And this one? No. Okay, well, that may be a problem. I might have to remake these pieces all together. That's okay, though, if I have to. They're ugly as sin as it is. Not even sure how I came up with this horrible configuration of those pieces. They work, but man, that is some nasty stuff right there. I might have to go through and just cut these edges off, and yeah, let's just get that other piece turned back on to hide all that for now. So it looks pretty again for a minute. And this is where we're at right now with the X-ray turned off. These little end pieces have to be done, the guns, and so forth. Yeah, but I think overall it's pretty good for hacking it out, you know, over a couple hours and just trying to, you know, make it look good, make it look right. I'm going to close this image here, though, because that's just kind of bugging right now. Cool. So with that, guys, I'm going to let you guys go for now. I'm going to come back tomorrow, play with this, work on a whole lot of other stuff too. But I think it's looking overall pretty good, you know. This is just the base model, obviously, you know. Need to figure out how to get these parts here to solidly bond again. And I think part of this issue is that. But yeah, and get those to somehow become one, because they just do not want to do that. Cool. Right on. I think it's actually looking good. I knew once I got the initial shape down, the rest of it would start making some sense. All right, cool deal. We're gonna go